Okay, folks, I'm not gonna lie. After today, I may need to retire from all of this. The technological world is riddled with far more grammatical nightmares than I ever thought. But I suppose somebody's gotta be the brave soul who sacrifices their mental well-being for the sake of the written word, and well, I don't really see many others eager to take my place, so this is it. This is how it ends. Anyway, you remember my rant about pronoun references? Yeah, well, I wish it could have ended there, but apparently pronouns are just so hard to use correctly that I gotta do a whole nother episode on the poor little things. This time we're dealing with pronoun cases. How is that different from pronoun references? Pronoun reference is about how the pronouns relate to the words they modify. Pronoun case is about what function they serve in the sentence. Yes? Understand? Great. Then let's take a look at our first monstrosity. Okay, now some of you might be looking at this and thinking, what's wrong with it? What's the problem? And to that, my dear misinformed friend, I must say, you are. Because you're likely a perpetrator of this all too frequent error, just like Jake here. See, the issue is when we've got a subject and predicate nominative sentence like this. Pronouns that are used as predicate nominatives have to follow the subjective case, like I, we, you, it, he, she, or they. Why is that? Because predicate nominatives are equal to the subject. If we flipped the statement around, does it make sense? No, of course not. So we've got to fix it, Jake. I know it might sound pretentious, but it's the only way for the sentence to truly make sense. All right, moving on, we have this dreadful train wreck. What do I think you should do, Grace? I think you should, I don't know, plan a grammar workshop for yourself. We girls? Oh, no. You mean us girls. What we've got here, folks, is a classic case of an appositive gone wrong. See, when you're trying to determine the case for a pronoun that has an appositive, just ignore the appositive. It's really that easy. So in this sentence, the pronoun should be in the objective case because it's functioning as the object of the preposition. Don't let a little extra information throw you off, Grace. You've got this. And hopefully you've got those after-party details figured out too. Alas, appositives aren't the only common error I see a lot. Gerunds don't make it by unscathed either. The sad thing is I wonder how many of you will actually pick up on the mistake. Someone? Anyone? Okay, for those who don't know, first off, we can't be friends. I'm kidding. Sort of. Ugh, okay, fine, I'll tell you. So, when a noun or pronoun comes before a gerund and operates as the doer of the action, you've got to use possessive case. But Will, that looks and sounds weird. Well, good thing that proper grammar doesn't depend on your own personal tastes. Or my mom's for that matter. This isn't even her worst mistake. Anyway, we use possessive case because, believe it or not, my mom didn't really care about me in that moment. She cared about what I was doing. She didn't appreciate my making her late. In other words, the gerund's action is the focus, and the noun or pronoun is simply the doer or the possessor, if you will, of that action. Okay, and now we come to what I must admit is one of my greatest pet peeves in all of grammar mistakes. It's time I confront you about who or whom. I just can't take it, especially when people make them sound so much more complicated than they are. I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, no one really knows when to use which word anyway, so who cares? You're looking at him, me. I care. Folks, who and whom follow the exact same principles as personal pronouns. Use who for subjects and predicate nouns. Use whom for objects. This isn't rocket science. The only challenge here is that sometimes dependent clauses can trip you up. which is exactly what happened to Zeb here. Let me explain. So, as soon as you see who or whom, break it off into its own dependent clause. Now that you've done that, identify your subject and verb. Then you should probably be able to tell what function the who or whom is serving in the clause. In Zeb's case, it's a direct object, which means it ought to be whom. And look at that! A perfect post with beautiful grammar. All right, fine. I guess it can be a challenge for some, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. Simple rule, isolate the dependent clause. Then you'll be able to figure out the pronoun's function and whether you should use who or whom. Easy peasy. Okay folks, I could go on and talk about reflexive pronouns and pronoun shifts, but I think this last explanation's done me in for the day, and I'm not sure you want me to break out another soapbox. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to like and subscribe below for more content. I'm Will, and I'll catch you next time on Grammar Roast.